Hello students, welcome to the chapter Genetic Engineering and Genomics. This chapter belongs to paper 2 and the chapter number is 12. This chapter is one of the very interesting topics and also one of the current research going on, or the research which goes on in the molecular biology fields goes through the genetic engineering part. So let me just explain you how and what all is genetic engineering and how does this biotechnology, what is this biotechnology? So let me just explain you. Let's start with a very simple question called as what is technology? Yes, my dear students. Dear students, technology is everywhere around us. You can see the mobile phones, the gadgets, the AC, everything around us. What is there is all the technology what we are using. What it is making? It is making our life very simple. So how you define technology? The tab what you're using right now, the tab using right now is also a technology in which I am there to teach you the chapter genetic engineering and genomics. So this is also one of a technology. So what is technology, my dear students? It's nothing. It's the innovation done by humans. It's innovation done by humans to make what? To make our life easy and simple. For example, one touch and everything on your fingertips. You just touched on your tab and I was appearing in the front of your screen teaching you genetic engineering and genomics. So this is what is technology, and what it is making your life easy also, because you can sit at home and sit at class and study this chapter easily. So it is making your life easy. Similar, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about in the technology part. Now let me just introduce biotechnology to you. What do you think if I add a word called as bio to it? Means there is something what will be occurring in the field of biology, perfect, or in the living system. As we just made certain changes in the technology or in the software part or the hardware part of the instruments or of the gadgets what were there. Similarly, if I make certain changes in the living system, correct my dear students, if I make certain changes in the living system, don't you think that can be called as biotechnology? Let's see. Similar innovation if done in the field of living organism or in the living system that makes useful product for humans, that will make useful product for humans is called as biotechnology. So changes what you're doing at the living system level or in the living organism, which is to make improved quality, is together called as biotechnology. Yes, my dear students. Now question arises, how should I get this technology? How to get useful product for humans? Exactly. So there is something, if I make changes, there is what I make certain changes in a software or in a hardware, there is some kind of engineering I am trying to do. Getting my dear kids, that we are making certain changes or engineering the part or the software or the hardware part in that instrument or in the gadget to make it more useful for us. Yes or no, my dear students? Yes. Similarly, if I want to make changes in living system like us or living system like mice or anywhere else, what do you think? Which will be the most appropriate part? Yes, my dear students. Yes, you guessed it correct. It's up to the gene level where I'll make the changes, because gene is the one which is making us. And changing at the gene, or I'll manipulate the gene, and hence the term, my dear students, it comes that genetic engineering. So let me just define genetic engineering to you. Genetic engineering is nothing, it's manipulation right in your DNA or organism's genome, and that is called as genetic engineering, which will make useful product for humans. So my dear students, once again, genetic engineering is nothing, it's the manipulation and organism's genome to make useful product by using biotechnology. Absolutely correct, my dear students. Let's move ahead. So modern day biotechnology not only focuses at improvement of ancient practices, but also trying to develop novel and newer technologies. My dear students, very good technologies. Let me just give you a few examples of those very interesting technologies. The examples are as follows. New technologies like tissue culture, You are taking tissue of a plant or an animal and trying to grow that tissue in the lab itself. In the lab, you're trying to grow the tissue. In the lab, you're trying to grow a plant. That is what is called as tissue culture. Means you can make your appropriate variety. You can make your own design. How you want that plant to be. It should be disease resistant or not. How you want. You can do everything in this tissue culture. Next is gene transfer. Transferring your appropriate gene in any system so that the gene gets activated and starts working. This is also one of the very interesting techniques, my dear students. Next technique is the cloning. You'll be very much familiar with the Dolly sheep. Yes, my dear students, that's cloning, where we clone the sheep according to our need. We transfer the gene so that this sheep can be cloned in such a way that it gives us the benefit or it becomes useful to humans. And one of the last technique what I'm going to discuss with you is DNA fingerprinting. My dear students, this technique is also a very good technique and we'll be discussing this technique. Don't worry, my students, we'll be discussing this technique in the next module. And there are many more technologies in this chapter. So let's move in the next module, or let's see in the next module what is the waiting for you. So with this, my dear students, I complete the introduction to biotechnology in this module. In the next module, I'll be discussing with you the introduction to DNA fingerprinting, one of the very interesting technique, DNA fingerprinting. So with this, thank you, my dear students, and I'll see you in the next module.